Good afternoon, my Dynamite sickos, all my sickos out there here at the No Holds Barred Wrestling Channel. I promised you this would happen, and here I am. It's the Dynamite Rundown. I actually watched Dynamite, and my hat looks weird today. What's going on? Hold on, let me fix it. I did not brush my hair for this. If you know me, my name is Josh Kimmel. I'm the host of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast every single Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Bobby Melendez and myself, we talk about pro wrestling, the older days, the golden era. We're talking about WrestleMania breakdowns this weekend, tomorrow actually at 5 p.m. We're doing a rebooking of WrestleMania 1 through 10, what we think should have happened. Bobby also does a Monday Night War podcast every single Monday. He's rewatching he's not doing a war podcast. He's just doing Nitro. He's just watching Nitro, not WWE, not comparing. There's other content out there for that. He just wants to do Nitro. And of course, on Thursday nights, 6:30 p.m., myself, Clutch, and El Ginger Americano, we talk about the week of wrestling, whether it be AEW related, WWE related, all of the above. So now that that's been established, all the plugs are out of the way. We are brought to you by the Finns Talk Sports Network, of course, here on the No Holds Barred Wrestling Channel. I'm going to give you a quick breakdown every single week of Dynamite, my thoughts, my issues, all of the above. It's weird doing a solo show because I can't hear myself, or I can't hear if you can hear me. But let's say, throw a comment in the chat if you can hear me, if you're here. I see some of you watching right now. And I would like to know if you guys can actually hear me. But regardless, a little background about my AEW life. Seriously, it'll only take about 5 minutes. My first exposure to AEW was literally the first episode. It was actually the first pay-per-view that Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, they all put that together in Chicago. I watched it. I wasn't there, but I watched it. My first exposure with Kenny Omega, to be honest, was when Chris Jericho wrestled him. I heard about Kenny Omega. I heard about all that G1 Climax stuff. I heard about it all. But I'm a simple American who watches simple American wrestling, and I wasn't really into tape trading or any of that fun stuff. But Jericho moved on from WWE and showed up in promotions I never watched, and Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time. So I decided to go ahead and watch that Kenny Omega match. I did. And then I started watching Being the Elite on YouTube from episode 1 all the way until it became Being the Dark Order. That's when I stopped. Basically, when Brawl Out happened, when the whole fight with Punk and all that whole nonsense that should have never happened, that's when I stopped watching Being the Elite. So I'm well versed of their comedic timing. I'm well versed of their skits. I'm well versed of who Matt and Nick Jackson are. Well versed into Kenny Omega, Marty Scurll. We don't say that name anymore. Adam Hangman Page. Like, I've watched AEW not blow up, because let's just be honest where it's at now. But I've watched it get created through Being the Elite and following them weekly. I fell in love with their content. Not so much anymore. I've been watching AEW since day one. That's why I started a wrestling podcast, because I loved AEW so much. I have since taken a very, very hard stop on AEW and their programming because it's been very, very bad. And whether you like it or not, I'm here to tell you the truth. But the problem with us, myself, you, the IWC brother, is too many comparisons. Well, WWE does this. If WWE does this and you approve it here, why don't you approve it in AEW? Well, AEW does this. You want more blood and matches. AEW gives you that. You're complaining about it, and you go to WWE and you don't get it. It's just back and forth comparisons between the two companies, which is ridiculous. You would not, I guess, in a word, you would not compare an episode or a series like Seinfeld to a series like Game of Thrones. Now, you notice how I used two very, very highly acclaimed TV shows. I didn't say like some nonsense TV show that's airing on VH1, like Love is Blind or whatever the hell you guys watch these days, versus like I used two very good shows, but they're two different, very genres. And the reason why I use these two different genres, because let's be honest, AEW is Seinfeld. Every episode is different. Nothing makes sense. Nothing adds up. There's no continuity. It's just matches for matches. It's just bangers for bangers. There's no stories whatsoever. And they do have some stories. Like, I'm not going to say they don't have any stories, but the stories aren't in depth. Half the time they don't make sense. Half the time they get dropped. Half the time they expect us to know what happened in Stardom 15 years ago. And they play it out on television like we're supposed to know. That's very Seinfeldish. Every episode is different. Every episode you need to watch Dynamite with an open mind going, what's going to happen tonight? Because nothing will make sense. And then Game of Thrones is very episodic. They have a story. There's a structure. There's levels to this. I just think WWE is a very more structured product right now. Although it's boring, I'm not going to say it's exciting. I'm not excited to watch WWE, brother. But I will say at least their stories make sense and they add up and they follow up and they give you recaps. And you know why Jacob Fatu is mad. You know why Roman Reigns is the way he is. You know why things are happening. Whereas on Dynamite, you go 1 week, Jon Moxley's wrestling Shane Taylor for no reason. And the next week, he's wrestling some other jobber and from ROH for no reason because we don't know. And they don't tell us. AEW to me is they just open up WWE Universe and they just hit random. These are our matches tonight. And that's okay. So there's going to be no comparison here between WWE and AEW because they're two totally different shows, two totally different atmospheres, two totally different styles. So that's going to stop right here. I'm never going to say, well, in WWE, this should have happened. No, we're talking strictly AEW on this broadcast. My thoughts on it. And I'm going to go into it, I promise you guys, with open heads, with open mind space, because, again, you have to watch Dynamite differently. You have to watch it like the week before didn't exist. Because in Tony Khan's mind, the way he books, it didn't exist. Last week didn't matter. So we'll get into it. I know that some of you guys might not agree with this. Some of you guys might be hardcore, like you're sickos. You might be hardcore into, well, in 2002, Thekla wrestled Meanie Bongo, and then they showed up on Dynamite in 2026, and we're supposed to know that. How are we supposed to know? I didn't watch Stardom in 2022 with Meanie Bongo and Thekla. How are we supposed to know, Tony? But again, I'm going to go in it with totally open eyes for the rest of the way. And this is the first full Dynamite I've watched. I couldn't tell you how long. I stopped watching Dynamite when Cody left. That's a fact. Because it got really bad when Cody left. Really bad. All right. Enough with that. Enough with the introductions. We'll get right into it. Summer Blockbuster. Summer Blockbuster happened this week. June 10th, of course. The opening segment, it's different. Again, this is a new eyes, a new product for me. Dynamite used to be, it's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. And then we get Orange Cassidy in an opening match. Like, that was my life in AEW. Is Orange Cassidy opens the show in a 20-minute match. That means nothing. But it's changed. Now we had opening segment promos. Tommaso Ciampa came out. Tony Schiavone introduces him. Tommaso Ciampa has never had such an entrance or presentation like he has now. I'm a Ciampa fan. I've wanted Ciampa to be something in WWE. He comes out with his big robe or his jacket or whatever it is with a high collar, making him look really cool. And then they show a highlight clip of him putting some jobber into the walls of Jericho and making Tony Schiavone say, I'm better than Jericho. And I'll break this hold if you say I'm better than Jericho. And Schiavone says it. Ciampa comes out, gets in Schiavone's face, and pretty much wants him to say the same thing. Tony Schiavone cowers out, of course. He refuses not to do it. And then Jericho comes out. And we get the Jericho promo. Jericho's my favorite wrestler of all time. But I'm over Jericho. We get the Jericho promo of, hey, I'm good guy comedy, cheesy guy. Can upper management give me an opponent that has hair? The crowd does not react to this whatsoever. Ciampa has no hair. Ricochet had no hair. Those were his latest feuds. Not so funny. Jericho then pretty much says, "Who are you?" Yada yada yada. Says, "I'm Tommaso Ciampa," and Jericho does the classic Jericho thing, purposely messes up the guy's name like he does with every opponent when he's a baby face. Oh, Tommy, Tommy. He gets the crowd to chant Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. No, my name is Tommaso. Oh, Tommaso, and he starts to make fun of him. And I think this is where he's taking shots at WWE, but we'll see. Oh, Tommaso doesn't sound too marketable. Tommy sounds better. Tommy's easier on a t-shirt. Tommy could be chanted. We can't chant Tommaso. All right, we're getting somewhere, Jericho. That makes sense. I get it. Then we get him to somehow chant Tommy's mommy. At this point, I'm like, I'm over it. We just get the match. Because to be honest with you, I'm excited for Tommaso Ciampa. I think that they've handled him from an outside perspective. I've only seen clips. He comes in first day 1, day 2, day 3, wins some championship, literally loses the next day, and is shipped off to Collision. That's not how you build stars. We'll see if he gets built in this program, but as not trademarked, but as created on I'm sure Jericho trademarked this, created on the Jim Cornette podcast, people get stuck in the Jericho vortex and they just disappear to obscurity. Happened to Action Andrade. Action, what was his name? See, I don't even know his name. Action Andrade. Where'd he go? He was supposed to be the next big thing. Jericho said, nowhere to be found. Daniel Garcia. If he would have went with Brian Danielson, to the Death Riders or whatever, the BCC at the time, he would have been a big star, I think. But he got held down by Jericho, staying in that stupid Jericho personal security, whatever the hell that was. Things get escalated to break apart. The crowd was silent. Crickets. Nobody cares. Like, that's the one thing about Dynamite. Crowds. And here's the one comparison I do. I know I said I won't compare, but I promised my last comparison. Yesterday, I watched Raw from France, and then I watched Dynamite from Cincinnati. Back to back. Literally back to back. And the crowds in WWE, I know they want to be part of the show. I know they want to sing everyone's song. They want to do everybody's catchphrase. Everybody's over. Everybody's over in WWE. Everybody's over. I go to AEW, they do a massive pull apart with security, with Jericho escaping from security, beating up Ricochet, Tommaso Ciampa. They go to the aisleway, to the ramp. They're still fighting. The crowd doesn't make a noise. Nobody's standing up. Everybody's on their hands. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That was my first entrance back to the AEW world. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a crap about this whatsoever. The crowd was completely silent. I could relate as a sports fan who goes to sporting events, who has season tickets to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I don't cheer. When they score a goal, I just sit there. I promise you. I will stand up because everyone else stands up, but I don't really cheer. I'm more of a watcher. I don't chant, "Let's go light." I don't do that shit. Sorry, Bobby. I more likely just sit there and watch the show. You can say sickos, the AEW world, they're sickos. Some might just want to watch the show. They don't want to be involved like the WWE crowd does. I don't know what the situation is. I'll monitor it as I watch Dynamite. But man, the first 39 minutes of this show exactly were crickets. I didn't think they had a crowd. I didn't think the crowd came. They were singing Judas when Jericho came out, and it was at 1/4 of the level it was when I was watching it previously. I noticed these things. I went away for a long time and I came back, and I was alarmed at how small the audience was and how quiet they were. That's just an observation. We get back to backstage. We get Don Callis, Kevin Knight, and Andrade. They show up. Renee Paquette interviews Mr. Kevin Knight, and Don Callis steps in. That's not how you interview my client or my whatever he is to me and my massive family over here. I'll do the interview. Grabs the microphone, does his own thing. Kevin Knight pretty much says, "Hey, you're ducking me, MJF. I need a title shot." Andrade comes up and says, Hey, I'm Andrade. I deserve a title shot." I'm not going to do the accent. I'm terrible at it. And Don Callis is now in another situation where he has two top guys in a program where they hate each other and they both want the same thing. So are we going to see another Kevin Knight feud with another Don Callis, not another Kevin Knight feud, but you guys know what I mean. Another feud within the Don Callis family that will go absolutely nowhere. Probably Andrade versus Kevin Knight coming up soon. I don't know who's going to be the babyface, but we'll get it probably in 2027. The first match of the night. The first match of the night, I'm thinking, oh, okay, all right, we fine. Because usually back in the day, we opened up with a 20-minute banger, and it was fun to watch. We got Jon Moxley versus someone I never heard of in my life for the AEW Continental Championship. Chat, sickos, people, women, men, children of all ages, if you could answer this, what did Shane Taylor do to acquire, to earn an AEW Continental Championship, other than the fact that he was from or born in Cleveland, which is a city that Cincinnati hates, and Jon Moxley's from Cincinnati? I'll wait. I could wait all day. Someone explain to me who Shane Taylor is, first of all. Second of all, why is he getting a title shot when nobody's ever heard of this person? Oh, Josh, it's wrestling. Oh, Josh, it's part of the show. Just have fun. Just enjoy wrestling. I would do that. But do you remember when Jinder Mahal got a title shot in WWE and Tony Khan went on Twitter and lost his freaking mind? What did Jinder Mahal have to do to get a title shot? He hasn't been on TV in 3 weeks, 3 years. Don't be a hypocrite, Tony. Don't be a hypocrite, because you put it out there on Twitter. Anyone can go search it up. Search up right now after the stream. Tony Khan, Jinder Mahal. You'll find him. Don't be a hypocrite, Tony. What is Shane Taylor? What has he done? Who is he? What is his story? What does he want? Who is he? Oh, he's from Cleveland. Jon Moxley's from Cincinnati. Oh, we're in Cincinnati. Let's have the match. Boring. Boring match. Boring match. Later in the show, Jon Moxley's Death Riders challenge whoever these people are to a 5-on-5 street fight for Collision that nobody will watch. God, I'm so negative. I got to get back to positivity. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And this is the perfect time to do it. We get a vignette from the GOAT. If you watched Real Talk Wrestling last night, I had an admission. She's no longer the greatest women's wrestler currently. She's no longer. Mercedes Moné is no longer number one in my world. But she had a nice vignette. This is the way you present Mercedes Moné. She can't cut a promo. She sucks on the mic. Nothing ever makes sense when she talks. It's like talking in circles. Put her in a vignette. Show us what she's done. Show us some highlights. Have her talk in a scripted form where she can repeat these lines over and over and over until it sounds right. This was amazing. Mercedes Moné states that she's not seeking redemption. Everyone was cheering her downfall. Everybody wanted to see her lose, but she vows she's not here to get redemption. She's not here to prove everybody wrong. She's just here to win the Owen Hart tournament. That's all she wants. So I liked it. We know what she is. We know who she is. We know why she's back. She has a mission, unlike the rest of the roster. The next segment, we get Kevin Knight, who recently turned heel. I mean, I've seen clips of this. I like Kevin Knight. I think Kevin Knight's good. But I don't think he should talk on the mic. I don't think he should talk on the mic just yet. He needs more reps. He needs more work, but I like him. I like the potential of Kevin Knight. If they push Kevin Knight and they book him well, we know it won't happen. He could be a top star there. He calls out MJF. Darby Allin comes out. Yada, yada, yada. Don Callis Family chases off Darby Allin. End of story. Like, it's a typical AEW promo run-in. Nothing crazy. Nothing happened. Looks like we're gonna get Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin, which is cool. I'm down for that. But it can't be for the TNT title. Can't be for any title. Darby just lost his title, but it will be. And I think Kevin Knight has to go over. He just recently turned heel. Match 6, I was super excited for. Two of my favorite wrestlers in the promotion. Mercedes Moné is back and a little more beefier. Yeah. Oh yeah. She is. She's looking beefier. I think her boyfriend, or maybe I don't know who he is anymore. That Beast Mortos feeding her some good beef, man. Good for her. She needs to beef it up. Match 2. Pac, the bastard Pac versus Mark Briscoe. It was nice to see Mark Briscoe on TV. I think they dropped the ball on him when he first came into AEW. I think he could have been a massive baby face. He could have been a main eventer. He could have been in the title shot contention. And he's going to get a title shot, maybe. But he wrestled Pac here for no reason. At least not that I know. I didn't hear any promos. I didn't hear any reasoning behind this match. All we got was an awkward moment with Tony Khan acting as puppety. By the way, I compare Tony Khan to a Muppet. That's what he looks like to me. He's just like a Muppet. It's fine. I like Tony Khan. Nice guy. From all accounts, nice dude. Loves wrestling. Like, I like Tony Khan. You'll never hear me, like, I'll make fun of him, but it's all lighthearted. I know what he's doing is what he wants to do, and he actually loves pro wrestling. Like, there's no doubt about it. Look at all the tributes he does. Look at all the things he does for wrestlers. Even if he doesn't agree with the promotion like WWE or anything, he still like donates money to people that need it. Like, he's a very good guy. Not going to say anything about him. But we got the very awkward exchange between him and Mark Briscoe where they're having some secret conversation and they're shaking of the hand. And Tony Khan's like, it was so awkward. It is what it is. We'll find out what that agreement was after the match. Mark Briscoe goes over. He beats Pac, as he should, in a really good match. I love Briscoe. I think Briscoe's awesome. And I would not be upset if he wins the title ever. I think he should. I really do think he should. He's like the only babyface in AEW that people care about. Think about that. He's the only babyface in AEW that people actually care about. It's weird. Hard-hitting match. After the match, though, the most important part, calls out MJF. Tells MJF to get his little out here. I'm not going to say the words. Here's my problem with this. A while ago, before MJF was champion, Mark Briscoe pinned MJF 1, 2, 3. Yes, it was like a plunder match. Yes, it was like a hardcore match, I believe. It was an ODQ match. Could have been a tables match. I forgot what kind of match it was. But Mark Briscoe beat MJF in a very important pay-per-view. The very next night, I'll never forget this because I do tune in to time and I have seen clips and I understand. And I'm like, oh, shoot, Mark Briscoe beat MJF. They're finally going to use him. They're finally going to get him over. They're finally going to give the fans what they want. He went straight back to the jobber group with Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly and the other dude, Roddy Strong, Orange Cassidy. That's the jobber group, brother. Willow Nightingale. Like, I like some of those people in there, but he went from beating MJF in a pay-per-view to literally the very next Dynamite back with the jobber group. And then kind of disappeared for a while. Like, he was doing things, wrestling these matches on Collision or wherever he was wrestling. But you had him beat your top guy in a very important pay-per-view just to put him back on not even the mid-card, in my opinion, the undercard, the conglomeration, whatever the hell they are. Jobber guys. That's what you did with Mark Briscoe. You killed his momentum. Unbelievable. But it's back. They were over. Fans actually woke up for this match. This is where the fans finally woke up because we got MJF to come out. Tells Mark Briscoe, no, it's not happening. I'm the boss. I run this place. Yada, yada, yada. And then Mark Briscoe's like, nah, homie. You don't. Tony Khan's the boss. And Tony Khan granted me a one-way ticket for that AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know if I like it, though, guys. I don't know if I like the stipulation whatsoever. Let me explain the situation. Because, again, we're bringing in jobbers. We're bringing in underneath talent. We're bringing in, again, not mid-card stables. We're bringing in underneath guys to team up with Mark Briscoe. It's going to be a 6-on-6 steel cage match at Forbidden Door with Briscoe and his jobber group. I'm assuming of Roddy Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, Ishii, the conglomeration. I'll get that down one day, I think. Versus whoever MJF can get. 6-on-6 steel cage match. I thought they were going to go blood and guts. I thought they were just going to say, you know what? Blood and guts shouldn't be an annual show. Let's use it for special situations, which they should. It shouldn't be, oh, it's blood and guts. Let's just throw 6 guys versus 6 guys. It should be a special situation like we complained about for years with Hell in a Cell. But we get a 6-on-6 steel cage match. I'm assuming it's just going to be one ring. That's going to be 12 people in one ring in a steel cage. That's going to be a mess. That's going to be a mess. It's too much. It's too much. But we're going to get it. MJF is now on the hunt for 5 teammates. 5 heel team. Shouldn't be hard to find because there's heels everywhere. 5 heel teammates to face the conglomeration of jobbers and Mark Briscoe. If Mark Briscoe's teams win, he gets the automatic guaranteed World Heavyweight Championship shot. So we'll see where that goes. It's going to be at Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door later this month. It is what it is. It's better than MJF defending his title against some nobody in Japan. Honestly, like it's better than that, I think. Because at least there's stakes on the line. We'll see. See what Crazy Dolphin says. Briscoe reminds me of an Australian tag team, and he looks like he could fit into this tag team and dress like them. Dude, I'll go another step further. Mark Briscoe reminds me of Mick Foley in a way where he's a lovable character that every fan can get behind. You have the Bushwhackers. You have the sympathy story with his brother, right, Jay. We have the lovable, rednecky, like just a good old boy from Delaware working on the farm, which he is. You have everything. He's someone that fans can relate to. And Tony just dropped the ball, man, so hard. Let's see if he can get back up. 7th segment of the match. Seventh segment. Orange Cassidy versus Andrade. El Idolo. Can we quit Orange Cassidy? Now I get it. He's a fan favorite. People like him. But Andrade, honestly, at this current, maybe I'm wrong because I haven't watched Dynamite consistently, but in this period of time, I think Andrade shouldn't be going 20 minutes with Orange Cassidy. They need to be building Andrade as a mega main eventer. They need new people in the main event. They just truly do. He shouldn't have taken this long to beat Orange Cassidy. Let's be real, Tony. Let's start pushing the guys that look like they should be pushed and putting the undercard guys where they belong. And this is me as a fan going, this is me watching the show for the first time in a very long time, and I can't believe we're still using Orange Cassidy in this way. I just can't believe we're still using Orange Cassidy like this. But we are. We are. Will Ospreay cut a promo in the back staircase area. Ospreay reflects on his last match with Mark Davis, who's now apparently a champion. Good for him. And then Alex Windsor interrupts him, and they hug together. Cool. Segment 9, we have a women's Owen Hart Cup finals, and I was very surprised by this for 2 reasons. Allows him to get MJF on the show with his injury. Yeah. It makes sense, Stanley. Media House Network. Thank you for watching, everybody, right now. We're going to be here live every single Friday at noon or close to noon to recap Dynamite, anything that happens on Dynamite or AEW in general. So we have a women's Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match, and I'm not going to lie, I didn't recognize Sky Blue. I did not recognize her at all. She's lost some weight. She's worked out. You can tell her look is different. She just looks like a different person. She looks like a better wrestler. She has a better presentation. I don't know who Maya World is, but Sari, who still don't know who that is, was originally scheduled, but was pulled due to injury. So Maya World replaces her and gets the surprise win over Sky Blue. Sure. Like, that's what I'm going to say. Sure. We know both Sky Blue and Maya World are not going to win this. That's fine. I definitely see this being Mercedes versus Athena in the finals, but it is what it is. We get Sky Blue losing. Like, there's not much analysis on this one, guys. Segment 10, we get a backstage segment with MJF, Don Callis, and Kevin Knight, and the rest of the Don Callis family. And it's alarming to sit there and look at the screen to see Don Callis with legit 9 people, and I could probably point out 2 of them. Kyle Fletcher, Andrade. Did I see Okada there? Okada, I know he's part of the group. So I guess 3 people. Who are these people, Kevin Knight, for? Who are these people? Who are they? And if this is who MJF's going to go to for help on the 6-on-6 match and offer money, we've seen this before. It happens time and time and time again. It just happens all the time, man. We didn't even bring up, this is my fault. We didn't even bring up the fact that MJF had jobbers, Jay Lethal, who I love Jay Lethal, but we had jobbers come out for him to do his dirty work. Let me get this. I want to get this straight. I want to get this straight to everyone watching and to Tony Khan and to everybody. Stop using jobbers in high-end angles. I don't care if MJF paid them $1 billion. Stop using jobbers in high-end angles for your World Heavyweight Championship. Stop it. If Roman Reigns hired the Alpha Academy to attack LA Knight, would we take them serious? It's stupid. We get the main event, men's Owen Hart Cup finals, semifinals. I was so looking forward to this match because I love Brody King so much. He is one of the people that I'm looking forward to watching the rest of his career and his matches because I'll be honest, when Real Talk Wrestling was just on video, not video, audio, and it was just El Ginger Americano and myself, when Brody King debuted, because the reason why I'm doing shows is because of AEW. Me and El Ginger Americano said, hey, AEW is cool. Let's watch it. WWE sucks. And we did a podcast and we literally talked. I've seen every episode up until around Cody left. And Brody King debuted. I'm like, who is this fat guy with tattoos? This guy's a joke. This sucks. Another big announcement, another big debut. And I've watched him. And I'm like, this guy's awesome. Like, this guy's amazing. This guy should be World Heavyweight Championship material. This guy should be at the top of the card. And he's getting there. He did his little run with Bandito, which I watched from afar. He's getting over. I think he's like, when we talk about baby faces that fans care about, Mark Briscoe, Brody King's one of them. 100% one of them. The fans are definitely behind Brody King for many reasons. But if you're sticking with the wrestling aspect, it's because of his brutality. It's because of his size. And he brings that sense of seriousness. He's not another 140-pound indie wrestler. He's a big man who's Let me say this, guys, because I get in trouble by making fun of all the luchadors. He's different. I, as a casual viewer, cannot tell the difference between Bandito, Gravity, El Clone Guy, all these. I can't tell the difference. How can they get over if they're all the same? There's no one like Brody King in AEW. That's why he's over. That's why it works. And Tony doesn't see it. That's why it works. But at the end of the day, Swerve Strickland goes over, as he probably should have, advancing to the finals to face Will Ospreay, which is the better match at Forbidden Door. We all know how it's going to go. Ospreay's going to win the match, as he should. It's going to be a banger match, man, at Forbidden Door. It's pretty. I like Brody King barks. He needs to be a world. He does. He needs to be a world champion. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. But yeah, that's it. That's the Dynamite rundown. This was the first attempt at this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We're putting out so much wrestling content on this channel alone. The No Holds Barred Wrestling channel. It's going to be crazy. We have Mondays. Bobby puts out the Nitro review, old classic Nitros. We have Thursdays, Real Talk Wrestling, where myself, Miami Clutch PE, and El Ginger Americano, we talk about Raw mainly, but other topics as well. We actually played a game yesterday, Guess the Wrestler. It was very fun. Fridays, you're going to see me here at noon talking about Dynamite, talking about AEW. And then Saturdays, Bobby Melendez, the final boss, and myself, we talk about classic wrestling. We watch old pay-per-views. We watch movies. We watch documentaries, and we talk about that. This week, tomorrow, on No Holds Barred, Saturday, again, 5 p.m., we're doing a what if. We're changing main events from WrestleMania 1 to 10. Since we've watched them all and we've reviewed them all, we're taking a break from WrestleMania, watch-alongs, or watching, and we're going to try to change some things. Should Roddy Piper had a title shot against Hogan, possibly, instead of boxing Mr. T? I don't know. Should Randy Macho Man Savage and Ric Flair have been in the main event instead of Sid and Hogan? I don't know. We'll talk about it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're bringing wrestling content almost every day, as much as possible, because we love pro wrestling here on the No Holds Barred Wrestling channel. This has been Josh, your host. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. And guys, I will see you next week. Peace out.